Hello everyone and welcome to the Mimic Book 2 Chapter 1 walkthrough. There's plenty of these already on YouTube, but the game has been updated a little bit and things may be changed, as well as this video might even be out of date by the time you're watching it, so I apologize if it is, but thank you so much for actually, clicking on this and watching it. If there's anything you want to skip to, I set up chapters for pretty much every single segment if you want to just skip to it. You don't have to waste your time looking through the entire video and trying to guess where it is. So, to begin, we want to go into this main building, as the tutorial will finally start. The first task is to find a key, which this tip will tell you where it is, pretty much. It is right on the back right desk, which we'll pick up and bring to this door, which our deceased brother is laying on. If we get close enough to it, the next segment will start with a little zoomed in sequence of its face. So, rest in peace. Hopefully we'll find out what actually happened to you. For this next part, if anybody suffers from epilepsy, I recommend not looking at the boat. Make sure to look up a little bit, like towards the moon or just straight forward, as you are technically driving a boat. You need to keep your eyes on where you're going. It's just everything starts flashing very, very rapidly, and it even gives me a headache, so just keep your eyes forward, but avoid eye contact, because it might be awkward, and also it does want to kill you. On this next part, which is a little bit interesting, there is somebody that we don't really see that much this chapter dragging us through the darkness. I believe, I'll put a screenshot on after they finish dragging us. We get jump scared later on inside of this one building, and it kind of looks similar. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not a lore person on this game. I just play it, right? I do walkthrough sometimes. I don't know anything about the lore. Don't know who it is. Don't know if it's the same person. It was dark. Kind of looks the same. For the first entire part of the chapter, what we want to do is grab our candle, which we can now change it to whatever we want using our inventory, which tells you the button at the bottom. I will use the Christmas lantern as it is quite bright, and we can actually see what we're doing with it. Before we get fully started, though, I'm going to go over everything we have to look out for. So here's a screenshot of the monster. Its name is Rin, as well as Mio. There is a little cutscene that'll appear a little bit later on, which tells you how it kind of came about as a monster. I will kind of spoil it a little bit. It's a monster with two mouths. The first mouth is Rin, I believe, the front face, and the back mouth is Mio, as it kind of tells you a little bit later on, which you will eventually see. This objective is quite easy to do. We just have to find a book. But before we get fully started, there are a few safe zones on this area. Any room that has this means it is safe. If you come in here, Rin will not be able to enter after you. For example, this next door on the right here does not have one. She could come in and kill you. But some of these rooms do have things that could protect you, like this right here. If you get behind this, Rin should not be able to get you unless somehow she gets around it. The main objective of this area, after the monster actually spawns in, is to find rats. Rats could spawn in any room at all. So a rat could be in this corner, a rat could be in this corner, it could be inside of a cabinet, it could be literally anywhere. So I sadly cannot tell you guys where they are, as it is randomized. They could even be, in here, just literally any room at all. So hopefully you guys can manage to find them. There is only 3 currently, but the book that we're looking for is in this room. Both of the ways lead to it. If you want to go left, if you want to go right, it does lead back here. But before we get fully started, there is a hint for the next part. The rats are poisoned by the well. For her to consume, you must ring a bell. This tells you exactly what you need to do. You need to find 3 rats, which remember they can be in cupboards, anywhere in the corner of rooms and stuff, and bring them to a well. I will show you exactly where the well is before we get started, as well as where the bell is. You could go literally any way you want. I will go back to the spawn area just so it's kind of a little bit easier, as the spawn is honestly extremely close to it. If you ever die, you're pretty much right at the end of the level. So the spawn area is right around this corner. Right here. If we just go down the right path, it will lead us literally straight to the bell. The bell is right in this room. So whenever you have a poisoned rat, you bring it to the bell, and you could hold E on it. And if you take a left at the bell, there is another kind of safe room, which has a courtyard and the well you're looking for. The rat can also spawn in this room, by the way, I think in that corner, so it's It's kind of helpful to remember that there's actually a room out here. Sometimes I forget. Now that I've read the book, we can now hear squeaking around the map, which is where these rats are hidden. We'll just grab them real quick. And now we have to be careful of Rin running around, or at least, you know, walking around ready to just completely murder and eat us. So remember, there are safe zones that you could hide in, and you just have to bring the rats to the well to poison this monster. So you don't have to hold the rat in your inventory or even wait by the well. You could just interact with it and run away, and it should be all good. And now, of course, we just have to bring it into this next room. And our lovely friend here will come and eat it. I don't believe she could kill you right away when she's eating it. She'll like run past you, but she will chase you afterwards. So I'm gonna sit here and just to test it, I decided to just stand inside of her while she was running at us. And I just want to say, as of right now in the update I am playing on, you are safe whenever you have the bell tolled. So if she runs through you, you're perfectly fine. And once you collect your third rat and feed it to your lovely friend, wherever my lovely friend is, you can now leave through this door right here. If you're on solo, it'll immediately teleport you. If you have other players, I believe there's like a 30-second countdown. Little heads up before this next part. Be prepared to run as fast as possible. Make sure to also manage your sprint though, because you will run out and die. So what we need to do is, of course, prepare ourselves and run. So make sure whenever you get to one of these doors, you are prepared to open it on the right side, as well as you stop sprinting, just because your sprint will continue going down even if you're not moving. And if you keep going, you should be fast enough to outrun her, because she is just chilling back there, looking all angry at us, trying to eat our souls. Or just bodies. I don't think she'll eat our souls. She might be a little bit picky. I don't know her lore at all. But once you get to the end here, it will just immediately teleport you out. So we will do that because I don't feel like dying today. On this next part, we just continue going forward. Just prepare for, you know, a few spooks here and there. You don't really have to worry about it that much. I don't think you guys should be that scared because they're kind of handsome. I don't think they really scare you that much. This next part, which I will go into a little bit of detail in a second. I'm not sure their exact name. I'll put it on the screen. I don't remember it because I have a bad memory. So I'll just, you know, have it there. I call it the Medusa. This monster will freeze you or put you to stone, turn you to stone, whenever it can see you, right? It looks scary, right? For one, I am terrified of it. Two, it will kill you no matter when it sees you. So if you accidentally uncrouch whenever you're trying to hide, it will kill you in a split second. You do not have any margin of error. So there are two patches of grass on this area. Once we get to the top, I'll show the first one, and after we move on to the next part, I will show the second. Just remember, you have to stay crouched inside of the grass. So this first chunk of grass, we'll move straight to it, and we will crouch. The objective at the top says hide, which makes sense as this very, 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 very scary giant Medusa snake thing will turn you to stone and kill you. So once it's done looking at us, it will snap its head back up, and that is when we are allowed to run. If you time it good enough, you can just run directly to the next area. I believe you can hide behind the stones, and it won't be able to freeze you. But I only trust the grass. I do not trust the stones. Now that we're here, we'll wait for it to start again, which it should be somewhere directly above us. Yes, it is. And once it looks away, we are free to go across the bridge. No matter what, I don't believe it can kill you now, even if you run into its torso right here. I believe you should be safe to just continue to progress. This is one of the easiest parts of the chapter. There's not really much you have to worry about. It's just mainly holding a key and, you know, not letting go. I accidentally let go of the crouch button several times when I was streaming, and I died every single time. Once you get to this part, though, make sure to run. Again, it's another chase sequence. All you have to do is just continue sprinting. If you run out of stamina, you will die, so make sure to manage it properly. Once you get to a certain part, just slow down a little bit, right? You could walk and it should not catch up to you. So right here, I will slow down, take a look behind me, and prepare to turn around and sprint again. Once we get to this big black gateway, we will be able to leave. Now that we're done with that chase sequence, we're into a kind of safe area. There's not really much to worry about that will kill you. You could just keep running around, you could explore, you could do whatever you want on this part. It's kind of like a break area, I guess. But what we will do to progress is just keep following this main passageway that will lead us to this door. And this is where the thing I was talking about earlier looks alike. The thing that was dragging us through the darkness. I believe they look quite similar. They kind of have the same, like, bandage wrapped around their arm and stuff. But to just continue progressing, just keep following the main passageway. I would love if somebody could tell me what that monster actually is, because I honestly don't know. Like I said earlier, I don't know the lore of the game. But remember, this place is safe. There's nothing to worry about except for whatever the hell that was back there. And I guess this Mike Wazowski looking dude that we could talk to. Besides them, I believe everything should be safe. This guy will talk to us about us trying to leave and that we need a boat. Which is quite fast. I guess we just don't like this area, but the main character that we need to worry about now is Kaneo. So he's the one that knows everything, and we need to actually go speak with him. And it tells us he's by the river, which I would always skip on accident, which is kind of why I guess I didn't find him right away. The main thing to remember about this next area is it's safe until you speak to Kaneo. Once you speak to Kaneo, this new creature, or monster, named the Blind Witch will appear. They say it's blind, but honestly, its AI is quite good, and it will still kill you even if you pretend you're sneaky. It's honestly quite scary. But besides that, there's really not much to worry about. There is this weird flying thing that I have no idea what it is. Just chilling there. You don't have to worry about it though, as well as these spooky like shades that just like to nod their heads. I am part of your gang. So once we talk to Kaneo, as you can see, there are multiple doors like this around the map. There's one there, there's one there, there's one, I think, right here. There's one more down the same passageway, and there's also one there, as well as one all the way down there. All we have to do is go into each and every one of them, and we will discover the secret code for our next puzzle. But first of all, before we can even start the puzzle, we have to talk to Kaneo, which is sitting by the river, all, you know, relaxed and stuff, just gazing out into the ocean. As in ocean, I mean river. So we'll talk to him, and he's like, wow, you smell like a human. Which he might want to eat us, which is kind of scary. So we ask him some questions and stuff, and he's like, steal a Seishin orb guarded by the Blind Witch. That is where the Blind Witch actually, you know, comes from. So now everything is dark, and we need to make sure to stay hidden under these rooftops, because the Blind Witch is not blind in my opinion. There used to be a bug where if the Blind Witch would kill you, your game would freeze and have a black screen. But luckily, I believe they have fixed it, hopefully. But to progress, we need to open this door. So, like I said, there are several doors around that will lead you to figure out the code to actually collect the Seishin orb. So this one will point at a painting that we will have to write down. Cool lady with flute thing. Nice. So there should be 5 paintings that we need to write down. We don't have to. If you have a good memory, you should be good. I'll explain what they're actually used for in a little bit, but for now, I'm just going to go to each and every room to actually collect all of the information I need. So of course, I will try to sneak behind them and get to this next one, which I believe this one right here has a puzzle to get our reward. So this very interesting, beautiful lady wants us to draw an artwork, or paint an artwork for us to actually receive the puzzle. So for this, we just have to draw the outline while she watches us, which is a little bit creepy. If you mess up, she kills you. If you don't finish in time, she kills you. So make sure to like take it slow and be the artist you were meant to be. I'm not an artist. I am very bad. And also, oh god, that's bad. Um, your camera moves with your mouse, so you can screw up quite easily. But I think it's kind of it's kind of okay to mess up a little bit. Samurai being like, whoa, dude. All right, so we got 2 of them so far. Next, we move on to collect the key. The key is needed to actually unlock the room where we need to go to actually, fulfill this, I guess, puzzle. And remember, I just want to warn you guys, this puzzle is not actually needed. You can always just do trial and error. You don't need to come and look at all these paintings. You can just guess, which is something you can do. Cool samurai slide down mountain. All right, we got 3 out of 5. And of course, this one is pointing towards this drawer. Bam! We come in here, and they're pointing at this lovely lady with like a weird thing. Lady with weird detached head. Nice. Okay, so we got all 5 of our puzzle clues. Which, I am sorry that this took so long. It's just a lot of people didn't actually care to explain this whenever they actually did it. I actually didn't even know about it until I did some practice runs last night. Which, by the way, the key that you gathered earlier is to unlock this door here. So we will quickly unlock it and try not to die. This is where all of the paintings actually come into the story. So around each floor, there should be a few paintings that have a candle by them. If it's not the right painting, it will turn off every candle you have previously lit, and it will not light itself. So you need to look around for the 5 paintings that match the ones you found. So of course, we are going to just take a look at everything. Cool flute lady. Yes, that is one of them. And remember, there is something in here that wants to kill you. There are a few hiding spots. What is this? Gotta just imagine what I would write for this one. 2 ladies feed rooster soup. I would love that. I enjoy it. I believe there's 3 on the main floor, which we only had 1 in here. I think the bottom floor has 4, and the top floor has 2. So down here, cool dude sliding down mountain. That is a yes. This is one of the hiding spots, by the way, as well as on the other side here. There is this table you could hide under. What is this? Picture of some dude. No. Person with detached head. Yes. There's one more that we have to take a look at. Jojo. Yes. And now we have to head all the way upstairs. I will warn you though, if you die on this part, you teleport all the way to the back, beginning of this entire area. So instead of just being like outside this place, well, I guess we're just gonna learn from experience, so you guys can see what I mean. We respawn all the way back at the start. Like, I mean all the way back. So we have to run past the blind witch again. So we will do that. Luckily, I believe all of the candles I previously lit are still lit. So all we have to do is sneak upstairs, which I'm very, 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 very not looking forward to. Okay, I can see it. Alright, we can sneak upstairs. And our last one we need is a cool dude saying, whoa. And since we finished the 5th one, our Seishin orb is now appeared on the bottom floor. So we need to sneak all the way down, which unfortunately, she is up here. Just got to run down past her and steal this orb. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And now, with our newfound orb powers, we leave this room and return to Kaneo. Once you talk to him, you will teleport into a new dimension with this really, really creepy dude that just makes fun of you for, people watching you and, Kaneo, not sending you to a boat. It's not a fun boat. Let's just say that right now. It's a boat that, for one, is the next part of the story, and 2, is very, very big. So of course, there's not really anything to worry about. You just keep going towards it, and as soon as you hit an invisible wall close to it, you will begin the next segment. Remember, if you have other people, it won't just immediately teleport you. You have like a 30-second timer. So in this area, there are 3 floors and 3 creatures, or monsters. The main objective is to light candles. The first phase has 4 candles, the second phase has 6, and the third phase has 8. On the left side of the screen, you can see that we have oxygen, as this tip says. The air is thin, replenish your oxygen. Around the map, there are several like oxygen canisters, which there's one perfectly set up for us to look at here. If you hold E on it, it will give you oxygen. On this segment, you have lives. If you die by yourself on solo, you go back to the beginning of whatever phase you're on. If you're on phase 2, you go back to the beginning of phase 2. If you're on phase 3, you go back to the beginning of phase 3. If you have other players with you, if you die, you can be revived as long as you have oxygen. If you run out of oxygen, you're forced to spectate other players. If you look around the map, you will see these little tiny icons, which shows you the candles you have to light. On the main floor, there is 1. On the bottom floor, which is what this elevator leads you to, I believe there is 5. And on the top floor, which is on the other side of this little intersection kind of place, there are 3. So what I'm going to do real quick is just go light this singular one. Just because it will make it a little bit easier on us, because we're going to head to the top floor right away. When you need to hide, by the way, there are doors on every single side of the hallway in this room. There's some there, and there's also some here. So just make sure you're able to hide. It's not really that bad. I'm not actually sure if he even comes down here anymore, but just in case you ever need it, there are plenty of rooms to hide in on either side. They're nice little apartment rooms or hotel rooms. Next, I'm going to actually head upstairs because the upstairs has 3, which will perfectly end this segment. I would recommend going to the bottom floor first because there are 5 of them. But the AI on the bottom floor is apparently the most advanced and most difficult one to actually beat. This one has a monster called the Trash Bag. At least that's what one of the testers told me. The Trash Bag is very spooky. They look like a trash bag. They've got some cool eye on them, and they hug themselves. But whenever they see you, they will sprint at you so fast that you cannot even react. So make sure to play slow, play safe, make sure your oxygen is all good. There are plenty of hiding spots for you to actually hide in. So what we're going to do is we're going to run in here and hide under this table. There's plenty of tables in here to hide. Like there's some over there. There's plenty in the back. There's just different places to hide. On the bottom floor, there's also places to hide. But on the main floor, it's only those rooms. My strategy here, it does not work every single time. But once the trash bag walks past us on the right side here, we'll be able to go and light both of these candles. And since we'll light both of them, our next phase will begin where we could light them again and get an extra amount. So once it walks past, about 3 seconds to go, and then I will sprint forward. Just because it gives enough time, because he's just like, you know, I'm going to go up these stairs. I don't know what's in this room with me, so I'm just going to go and explore. Which, of course, we snuck in and lit these candles. Which, of course, also, we could light them again because we're on phase 2. So, if you have 1 person per floor, it's very, very helpful because you could be sitting next to the candle as soon as it starts. Of course, though, we need to be careful because I am possibly going to die here, but I am also not going to die because I'm hiding under a table. Once they go past us, again, we'll light this one and then try to sneak back to the start. I believe we should be fine, but they are doing a eternal teleportation bug, which sometimes happens. I don't know why it happens, but some of the creatures on this part will just keep teleporting over and over back where they were. Like, if you guys remember from the Christmas event, sometimes that will happen to these ones. And now that we've viewed both the main floor and the top floor, we're going to be going down to the bottom floor with the most advanced AI, which is the blind person. They don't actually feel blind again. Like, they look blind, but they don't feel blind. If they return to the right, by the way, they will turn back around, so be careful. You could always hide in the elevator. There's also tables and desks you could hide under. But our goal right now is to wait for them to continue going straight. If they turn right here again, we hide. But since they're going straight, we have time to light our candles. There are 5 of them on this floor, 2 on the left, 3 on the right, as well as 2 oxygen canisters, 1 on either side, which gives you plenty of time to do what you need to do. There are a few hiding spots here and there. In this room, you could even hide, I believe, behind this candle, because there's like a big kind of like tree in the way, as well as this rock that you can kind of climb up of. You should not be able to do this, but you can, which is kind of spooky. But since we finished that phase, we can now do this phase again, or light this one again. Currently, it is walking away from us, so we have time to sneak in. But remember, if it goes to the right, we need to be careful. Alright. I don't think it actually went to the right there. I think it went to the left, which is actually a pathing I did not see or recognize. So remember, if you're doing this yourself, just make sure you remember all the hiding spots, because this is not a guarantee to finish. You do need to actually be careful and have a little bit of skill and put an effort to complete this. It's not just like a one and done, oh, I watched a tutorial so I could complete it first try. You do need to still understand how to actually do things. So of course, we're just going to sneak in behind and light these candles. So they should turn back around after I light this one. So I'm going to just sprint as fast as possible away, because since we have lit 4 of them, or, you know, lighted 4 of them, we actually don't need to light that last one down the hallway. I believe that is the hardest candle to light. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the main floor and not die to this creepy blob, and light this one instead. And then that means we just have to go to the top floor, light the last 3, and we are done with this phase. We'll now be done with the final section. There is still one thing we have to do, though. Prepare to crawl for your life, because this blind guy is going to crawl after you. If you look behind you, he will eventually appear and start chasing you. So the best idea is to just go, because he will be behind you. So of course, I'm just going to crawl for my life, because I do not want to die. Because I'm not actually sure what happens if you die right here. I believe it should just send you back to the chase sequence start. But I don't want to test it. I apologize. It's just, I'm at the end, and if I had to redo this again, my brain might do the poof. So of course though, once we get to this part, we should be fine. So goodbye, buddy. Now we just crawl through here, and this is pretty much the end for us. So our text goes blue, and it starts talking about signs of drowning. So, you know, we feel trapped and suffocated, which is something kind of spooky. One little bug I found in this place, I believe if you crouch in this water, you cannot uncrouch. So make sure to like crawl to land whenever you want to uncrouch, and just try not to crouch whenever you're in the water, because you get stuck. I believe sometimes you may spawn crouched because you're holding in crouch beforehand. But for the last part, all you have to do is just admire the beauty. Just look at everything that's pretty, like those beautiful white eyes, those jellyfish that would probably kill you in like a single touch because how big they are. And head towards this hole in this gigantic mouth. I'm not sure who this is or what this is, but you gotta go into their mouth. So I hope I taste good, because he's in for a treat. He's in for a treat. Oh. Okay, well, I will say that is where the game ends, okay? I'm not sure why it just happened like this, but once you go in the mouth, the chapter is over, and you see, wow, my English is immaculate. You see this cutscene with jealousy, I think, and they look very, very annoyed with you. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this little guide. I hope it helped. Sorry if it did actually extend a little bit longer than I thought. I'll try to edit it into something that's bearable, but still gets the point across with everything you need to understand. So thank you again for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing life, amazing day, night. I hope you guys have good luck in the future and everything. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.